Good morning, viewers. This is Anchor Kekrizanyo Solo. You're now watching Hornbill TV's News Live. Tensions in Manipur seems to be growing, with disturbing incidents being reported daily from various districts of the state. In the most recent incident, security forces led by CRPF gunned down 11 militants, while one CRPF Jawan sustained serious injuries during a heavy exchange of fire between armed militants and security forces in Jukurador in Borobekra subdivision in Jiribam district on Monday. Heavily armed militants torched several shops, attacked a locality and CRPF camp located at Jakurador Karong in Borobekra subdivision, leading to a heavy exchange of fire, police said. Preliminary reports informed one Jawan sustained injuries while 11 militants were killed during a cross-firing, they said. The dead bodies of the militants have been recovered and brought to Borobekra police station. According to police, 5 civilians are still reported missing. Police said, adding that it is not clear whether they have been abducted by retreating militants or are in hiding after the attack at Jakurador Karong began. Operations is on by security forces to find the missing persons, police said. And earlier, militants armed with sophisticated weapons in camouflage uniforms came out from their hideouts and fired several rounds around 2:30 p.m. local time towards Borobekra police station and proceeded towards Jakurador Karong to engage in arson, officials said. We will now be joined by our correspondent from Manipur to discuss further and in details about this issue. Welcome, Mubasir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Mubasir, first of all, tell us, how is the situation there as of now?
So far as yesterday's incident happened, it happened around 2:33 p.m. These 5 missing civilians, they have all later on found to be hiding in a separate location. They were probably, trying to save themselves from, this cross-firing. Later on, police found them and they were handed over to their family. They were perfectly safe. As far as, the recoveries of bodies are concerned, according to police control room, so far, even though, different report from the different agencies said that 11 militants were gunned down, but the police, according to police control room report, 10 dead bodies have been recovered yesterday itself. Afterward, huge number of security forces were rushed to the spot, and the situation is the situation is said to be under control. There is no report of violence in the morning. However, in other locations, of Manipur, the report of violence are reported in different parts of the, this peripheral area. However, as far as Jiribam is concerned, after yesterday's incident, few security forces were moved to the area, and then curfew has been clamped down, and the situation is perfectly under control. Yes, back to you.
All right, Mubasir, are there any more updates or information that you can give us? Any more official information from the police or from the officials?
So far information that I have as of now is 11 militants gunned down. That is confirmed. After that, the 5 civilians, they were said to those were said to be missing were later on found to be hiding in a nearby place. There is another information. Another information is the situation is relatively under control at the moment. There is no report of violence from Jiribam at the moment. However, the situation could deteriorate any time. The kind of situation we are in at the moment, police and the law enforcing agency have to be, really so that any untoward is going to happen. The entire night, we get information from different locations like Kautru, Kadangban, and in other locations like Imphal East and Kangpokpi, a training area where gun firing and force firing were reported the entire time. Even action was reported in this place called Kangsuk Hill. Some few abandoned houses were burned down by militants in the night time, and there is report of heavy firing between two sides. Effectively. Yes, back to studio.
All right, Mubasir, so you've mentioned about some few abandoned houses. Those abandoned houses, were they residential areas or commercial areas?
Those were residential area. You know, those were located in the hillside. So those are residential area in Kangchup Hill, which is adjoining area between the Impal west in Valley side and Kangpokpi district in hillside. The incident happened around that place. The cross firing are reported from this Katangban, Kautuk, this Kangchup Hill range, etc. For the entire night, there is heavy cross firing. However, you know, as it is a cultivation season, you know, the farmers have to go to the nearby, field which are located in adjoining areas to cultivate their paddy fields. So the vulnerability increased in this season. In Manipur, it is a rice paddy cultivation season. This November-December period is a rice paddy cultivation season. So farmers have to go there to cultivate to harvest their paddy fields. It is a harvesting season, but at the moment, situation remains very critical, and gun firings and all sort of violence are being reported from different locations. Yes, back to you.
Yes, Mubasir, as you've said, the situation is very critical there right now. So, if the situation escalates at any point, what can we expect? What's the worst that can happen?
It is already escalated to some extent. You know, every now and then we go to hear, the cross firing and militants attacking one side or other side. And yesterday itself, there was several reports of violence. First, in morning, we hear from this cross firing in which two Naga villagers who went to their field to this harvest paddy were injured also, and they were admitted to hospital. And later in the evening, this particular incident where militants tried to allegedly tried to attack this Borobekra police stations, and CRPF personnel retaliated and gunned down, resulting in the gunning down of this 10 militants. After that, even though the incident was condemned by the Kuki organization, saying that those were innocent village volunteers. That is what they said. However, the CRPF personnel maintained that they are militants out on attacking the police station, Borobekra police stations, and that is how they were neutralized. However, situation remains critical in Manipur. The situation was relatively calm for last several months, but suddenly this once again it deteriorated, and the violence-related incidents are being reported from all the different circles.
Right, yes. Mubasir. So, what more can you tell us about the scale of the attack in Jakurador? Were there any warnings or signs that such an incident was imminent?
As far as warning signs are concerned, only the security agency could reveal why they failed to predict the incident beforehand. However, the Jiribam district itself is has become a epicenter of violence at the moment. So the security agency needs to be extra careful, and they should have taken all the precautionary measures. It is not like it happened all of a suddenly. The violence-related incidents are being reported for last many days, many months in Jiribam district, and situation still remains critical. So even though large number of security forces, more than 60,000 central security forces are being deployed currently in Manipur, the violence still continue to happen in one part or other part of the state. So so far no big statement from the central or state government about yesterday's incident and the escalation of violence in recent past. But the situation is very critical at the moment. Yes, back to you.
Basir, As you've said that Jiribam lately has become the center of violence. So how are the local communities in Jiribam district reacting to these escalating tensions? Have there been any efforts to provide assistance or relief to civilians caught in the crossfire?
Civilians are the biggest sufferer, as far as violence is concerned. Civilians from both sides has gone through, unaccounted suffering in this last 1 year period. Not only in Jiribam, but in other part of the state. There are still, violence that is being reported in Discount, Kadangban, etc. Where, even in West area, one area called Pumlo, where a large number of villagers had to run away from their home last night because of the firing sort of this because of this firing sound, gun firing sound, gun firing sound, and then this arson took place last night, and then these villagers have to run to a safer location last night. So the civilian populations are suffering. That is understandable, and I think central government and state government need to take further action. So far they have failed to curb the increasing violence. So far they have failed to find a way to somehow contain the violence. In spite of the repeated claim made by the central and state government that violence has come down considerably and things are becoming normal, and situation is under control. Things like that, the violence are repeatedly happening in the state, and I think some concrete steps need to be taken up. Otherwise, situation will continue to be in such critical situation. Yes, back to you.
All right, Mubasir, now coming back to the 5 missing persons, what do we know about the 5 missing civilians? Is there any indication of their whereabouts, or say what might have happened to them during the attack? Can you share more details about the CRPF Jawan who also got injured?
Those 5 civilians, they were later found out. They were probably hiding in nearby safer locations. They were caught in this between the police and between the CRPF and this militant group. So as the violence erupted all of a suddenly and the extreme cross-firing happened, they were hiding in they said they were hiding in a safer location. Later on, they were found out by the police, and they were right now they were handed over to their respective family members. So they are perfectly safe at the moment. And there were conflicting reports being flown yesterday about two more CRPF personnel sustaining injuries or dead expects. But later on, it was found out that only one CRPF personnel got injuries, and others are perfectly fine. So hopefully, at the moment, situation is under control, and no further injuries and casualties are being reported at the moment. However, curfew being clamped down in the area, and the area being Jiribam being such a critical locations in view of the prevailing violence. I think the authority, law enforcing agency cannot untie their string at the moment. They need to be extra cautious still now.
Yes, Mubasir. So has the security situation in Manipur become more volatile in recent weeks, or is this incident just part of a longer standing trend of violence in the region?
Yes, you pointed rightly. The violence has been happening in a repeated manner, repeated fashion. So it stopped for a certain amount of time, then it again started. That is the trend at the moment. So I think law enforcing agency need to find some permanent solutions. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for people to feel safe and secure in such an. So I think some lasting solution need to be taken out by the central and state government. Some negotiation, some peace process, or some some lasting solution is the need of the hour. Otherwise, the temporary arrangements could be, a temporary arrangement could not, assure violence for longer period of time in Manipur at the moment. With the population being so much militarized, there is, arms and ammunition being planted, and police and security personnel are recovering arms and ammunition, huge amount of arms and ammunition on daily basis. But the situation still remains critical. So I think some on the inside, some lasting solutions is the need of the hour. Yes, back to our.
Mubasir, so what are the security measures being taken to control the situation and prevent further attacks like this, especially with the militants still on the move? Are there any signs that the militants might be planning more strikes?
As far as security arrangement is concerned, more than 60,000 central security forces are being stationed in different locations of Manipur. Above it, the Manipur police has a huge, state force, a big state force. They are all being stationed in different locations. However, until and unless there is a peace process between the two communities, and between the two warring sides, it will be very difficult to, maintain a peaceful atmosphere just by, keeping even though there is a huge security presence, the rockets and the drones and even this, gunfiring are still reported. The night times have become a, nightmare. It has become almost like a, routine practice. During night time, the escalation, the violence escalated. During daytime, it subsided to a certain degree. However, one cannot be certain, and it's being a, harvesting season. It's being a harvesting season. People need to, go out of their home to the field, the nearby paddy field, to harvest their, rice fields, and that is how, the situation remains critical at the moment. Yes, back to you.
All right, Mubasir. So we are also getting reports that 10 Kuki militants and 1 CRPF Jawan has been killed, while there are other reports stating that 11 Kuki militants have been killed and 1 CRPF Jawan grievously injured. So what is the actual status report? Like, could you please verify on these reports?
Well, yes, conflicting reports said that, 11 militants were being gunned down.
Mubasir, can you speak louder?
Yes. Different conflicting reports are being flaunted since yesterday. It is said that 11 militants were being gunned down. However, we are speaking at the moment. We are speaking with the police statement. Police control statement said that categorically said that they have recovered only 11 bodies of Kuki militants. So we are sticking with that. Only 10 bodies have been recovered by the police so far. So that is the official figure at the moment. As far as report about 2 CRPF personnel being sustaining injuries. Once again, police control room report said that only CRPF personnel sustaining injuries. So that is what we got to hear at the moment. However, it happens, in such a, developing story, people, all the media houses, started reporting one after another, and they were in a competition also to become the first one to break the news. So sometimes it happens, some conflicting.
All right, Mubasir. So having said that, since you are giving us ground zero report, can you give us the official number, the correct numbers of the person missing and the fatalities that took place?
The official missing that I can give at the moment is, is the police. According to police control room statement, only 10 dead bodies have been recovered. Only 10 dead bodies and 1 personnel sustained injury. So,
all right. So 10 bodies have been recovered.
Yes.
All right.
That is the official statement at the moment. So, and only one CRPF personal sustained injuries and 10 dead bodies have been recovered. That is the officer's statement.
Right.
Even though there are many conflicting reports. Get back to you.
All right, Mubasir. So, are there any latest updates regarding this fresh violence that took place yesterday? Any official statement from the officials?
No official statement so far because they are also wary and very cautious. The officials hardly make any statement in relation to Manipur violence. Whenever we go to meet chief minister or other high officials, other high people with high positions, we sometimes try to take bites from them, and they give also. But other than that, there is no official statement, neither from the central government nor from the state government. There is no official statement as of now. However, police control room statement, we get police control room statement, and then we have our own sources which normally confirm the report whenever such reports came up. So that is the situation. However, as far as violence is concerned, not only about the bomb, the violence have been reported in other 2-3 locations. One like this, the Sabungkok in Imphal is also there. In Imphal West and Kangpokpi adjoining area, this Tangtuk Hills, and there is this Kautruk, there is this Sendam Tirang, there is this Kadangban area. These are the critical locations where violence, escalation, violence often happen. These are adjoining area between these two communities where particularly during night time escalations of violence often happen. The cross firings, the firing of this RPG, which we call as rocket propelled. And even mortar shelling, heavy gun firing, mortar shelling, even rockets are being often used during night times. And the civilian population, what civilian population normally does when such escalation happens, they run to safer locations. Nearby several locations, and they took shelter there until the violence subsides. And once the violence subsides, they went back to their home. That is what happened. So people are suffering, unaccounted. People are suffering to extreme level. There is no doubt about it. So central and state government need to find some permanent solution for Manipur violence. It happened in May last year, and it still continues without any visible solution at the moment. Yes, back to you.
So, Mubasir, since you've mentioned that the situation is very critical there as of now, so how long can we expect the curfew to go on?
Well, as far as curfew is concerned, curfew will continue here in Jiribam, and it will be relaxed relaxed only for a few hours. So that people could buy people could buy the essential commodities. So it will be the curfew hour will be reduced in hour will reduce for say 5 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours, and then when the situation back to normalcy, it will be completely reduced. At the moment, I think this curfew will remain there, and it's perfectly understandable also with the kind of law and order situations being there. The curfew is the only, only visible apparatus that the law enforcement agencies, particularly district administration, see at the moment. So curfew will remain there. There is no issue with it. But the escalation of violence is the main issue. Even with the curfew or without curfew, the militants and disarmed individuals are, they always, came out in large number, or particularly during night time, and they, try to take advantage of the situations, and the situation, the violence escalated. That is what happening in Manipur. So I once again maintain that the state government and central government need to think very clearly. They need to find some, they need to find some lasting solution in Manipur. Otherwise, things will remain as it is. Yes, back to you.
All right, thank you, Mubasir. Thank you for joining us and giving us the latest updates and details about the fresh violence that took place. Keep updating us as you get more information. Thank you for joining, Mubasir. So that was on the fresh violence that took place, where 11 militants were killed, and so far 10 bodies has been found as per the latest reports. We will keep updating you as we get more information. Thank you for joining us.
कॉलेज बोले तो दोस्ती यारी यारों संग है फ्रीडम सारी फ्रीडम equals time of life life माने joy right Activa 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 scooter ले Activa
Scooter बोले तो
Activa
think outside
because sometimes news is more than mere information.
And we all need a little more clarity under the details.
About live people and events that really matter.
For individuals that demand reliable news.
From reliable news organizations and credible and award-winning journalists.
And how we look at the world. This is exactly the reason why we strive to serve you and the society.